The more you make, the more you spend. And because of that, you end up being a high earner, but still living paycheck to paycheck.
Don't know what I'd ever do without you from the beginning to the end. You've always been here right beside me, so I'll call you my best friend.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's video will be another one that is short and sweet. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today is two concepts. One is lifestyle creep and the other is golden handcuffs, and they kind of go hand in hand. They transcend the law in the sense that anyone that has aspirations to be a high earner or anyone who is a high earner, these are topics that are going to be very relevant. I was very glad that they were shared with me prior to starting in Big Law because it allowed me to kind of plan my finances in a way in which I knew that there was a possibility to get stuck. And consequently, I didn't get stuck in Big Law. Video coming soon. Just to break them down briefly, my first experience with lifestyle creep was actually in my first week of working. We're back from the summer. Everyone is kind of getting acquainted again at work. And one of my colleagues at the time was speaking about rent and moving into her apartment and things like that. And obviously we're pretty transparent with each other. And she mentioned that her rent was $5,000, maybe even pushing on $6,000. And half of us were baffled. The other half was like, oh, I mean, whatever, it is what it is. But obviously there are a range of different financial circumstances in that space. But I was shocked because I knew obviously her financial background. I knew she wasn't already well-to-do. And I knew that this was her first career job. So I was kind of shocked that anyone would take on such a high rent. But I realized that her taking on the high rent was directly correlated, of course, this part is common sense, to her now high income. But I just didn't know people live that way. And I was like, oh, this is the phenomena that people are talking about, where as you start making more money, people feel the need to increase their lifestyle. That is lifestyle creep. It's literally like the more you make, the more you spend. And because of that, you end up being a high earner, but still living paycheck to paycheck. So that's something to think about. I'm sure we shared this before, but my first apartment with Angel, we were splitting like $3,500 in rent, and that was intentional. Like we weren't trying to spend more than $2,000 on rent a piece because we knew that we weren't going to be working in these career fields forever. Like we wanted to invest, we wanted to save, we wanted to do these other things. And because of that, we needed to keep our cost of living low. So that's something to look out for because a lot of people, they literally don't even realize that their lifestyle is creeping up as they're making more money. Couple that with golden handcuffs. And I think of golden handcuffs as literally being stuck in whatever career field you're in because of the fact that you have these financial responsibilities that keep you tied there. So there's one side to golden handcuffs, which are the perks of your actual job. You know, the games, the insurance, the dinners, the cars, all those kind of things where people get so accustomed to having those things, they don't want to leave. And obviously there are certain circumstances that keep people in those situations, right? Like you may have a sick child or things like that and need the health insurance, all these kind of things. There's things that obviously keep you there. But beyond those things, thinking about the perks and couple that with the salary, and what results from the increase in salary is high payments tied to things that you cannot change. And what I mean by that is you have a fixed mortgage that's extremely expensive. You have a car note that's extremely expensive. You have gym memberships that are extremely expensive. And you can imagine when you couple all of these things together, your cost of living is through the roof. And because of that, you stick in positions that you no longer like. And that's golden handcuffs, and that is lifestyle creep. And those are kind of how they work together to keep people in positions that they don't want to be in. So it's definitely something to be wary of. And that's before we even get into conversations like student loans, which obviously is another very high payment for a lot of people. People have asked me about student loans in the recent comments. I'm going to do a whole video on student loans themselves where I'll share my numbers, let you know where I am, let you know if I met my goals and things like that. So because of that, I won't touch on it in this video. But obviously that's another contributor. And listen, this is by no means to tell people not to spend their money however they want to spend it. It's your life, live it. It's just something to be aware of if you do have aspirations to enter Big Law or another career field that is supposed to be high earning. Be aware of it and just don't get stuck. Think about what you're doing. It's intentional that I don't have this very expensive car, this high mortgage. I don't even know if I'll ever have a mortgage, to be honest. I think I might rent always. Unless it's investment property, which obviously we have. All of the major expenses are in investments. Like I don't really have anything that is tied to me. I'm not a digital nomad, obviously, but I don't have a lot of things that I can't just let go of tomorrow. Most of my money is spent on travel, and that's intentional. Someone's plans that I like to follow is Ramit Sethi, I think I said his name properly. Apologies if I didn't. And it's literally the idea that you spend a lot in the areas that you love, but because of that, you consequently cut back in the areas that you don't. People get stuck in trying to spend everywhere where it's not possible. In watching his videos and reading his books early on, that I realized like, oh, okay, his aspirations were to put himself in a financial position to where he would never have to work somewhere he didn't want to work. And that became my ideology. Like I saw a post the other day, I sent it to Angel. It was like, Black women tend to have this mentality about thugging it out. Like you just gotta thug it out. I'm not thugging out anything. And that's just what it is. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and watch out for more videos. Until next time.